I am going to count us down in 3, 2, 1. Good evening, Meticulous Moments audience. Thank you so much for joining us for yet another vibrant session. And today we have the wonderful privilege of spending time with the amazing Jonathan Ellis. Welcome, Jonathan.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for making time for us. Yesterday we had a wonderful virtual coffee. It was so lovely to hear your heart and your mission and your vision of life. And I just want to ask you, I've seen a live where you were on with the Alma family, Emilio and Daniela Roman. But to the audience members that might not know you yet, will you just introduce yourself to them, please?
Absolutely. Thank you. As you said, my name is Jonathan Ellis. I am a husband and father of 6 or 7 kids, and I have been in business for myself. My entrepreneurial journey started nearly 20 years ago when I was 19 years old. And here I am still in business, involved with 7 businesses at this point. And, the most exciting thing that I do in the time where the location where my time is really spent is mentoring people and coaching people and helping people get from the level that they're at now to the level that they know that they deserve to be at, and helping them bridge that gap. And I'm really excited about that. So yeah, again, thank you for allowing me to be here.
Absolutely. We are so blessed to have you. You have such a wonderful heart-centered leadership style. You just want to elevate people, through your knowledge and your experience. And I really appreciate that you are going to be sharing with us. And I hear your heart when you speak about helping others. And that is something that I think sometimes we miss. Because, in society, people don't want something that is superficial. They want something that you are offering. They want something authentic. They want something real, and they want to get to the good stuff. It's time for us to really dig to the root of the things that we are discussing. And I really believe you facilitate that for people. Now, you are a strong leader in your roles. You're a father, you're a husband, you're executive, you're busy with 7 businesses. What type of leadership would you describe, as being the leadership style that you normally use?
Servant leadership, without a doubt. I believe you affect more and you make more change, and you have people that want to be under your leadership when you are serving them at the same time they're serving you. Not being dictatorship and saying, hey, get out here and do this, I am the leader. No. Get in there and serve alongside of them. Yes. You help guide them, and you help push that boulder up the hill instead of standing off to the side saying, you push it up the hill. You get in there, you get involved with them, and you understand their struggles. Because when you sit high atop the mountaintop and you're looking down at the people, so to speak, you don't understand the struggles they're going through. Mm-hmm. You stay involved, and you have the empathy for people. You understand their struggles. You understand how to help them. So servant leadership, to me, is the most effective form of leadership.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Servant leadership to me represents relationship building. When we lead those that are on our team, they want us to know what is going on in their lives. They want us to know, when is it their wedding anniversary? When is it their birthday? When are their children going to matriculate? Those are the things that form a good team, a strong, solid foundation, because when we build relationship, people feel so much more comfortable in the working space. And when we serve with them, like you said, we can't sit at the mountaintop and look down and say, do this, do that. When we take those reins with them and we journey together, that is when we get the best out of the people that we lead.
Without a doubt, you link arms and you do the journey together. No doubt.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Now, please tell us more about your vocation. Just elaborate on that a little bit for the audience.
Absolutely. My main mission in life now is to help at least 10,000 individuals and business owners level up. Again, like I said, take them from where they're at now and help them elevate, because no matter what, people get stuck in life. They feel like they've hit a plateau and they just don't know where to go. And being in business over the past 20 years, there's been many times where I've hit plateaus. There's been several times where my business has completely collapsed up under me. And you just got to learn to rebuild and grow, keep that perseverance, and just keep growing and keep going.
Yeah.
So, with the business, I've done fairly well in my life. And it got to the point of where I wanted to be more instrumental to helping people other than just chasing money and things of that nature. It's about helping people. So that is it. We're building a community that we are looking forward to people being involved in. And again, it's just, we link arms, we help each other, we grow with each other, we build with each other, and everybody wins.
Absolutely. And that is the end result that we want. We want that end result. And, as we rise, we should lift. And it's very difficult, being on a plateau can also be likened to being stuck in a rut in a sense. Because sometimes people have been doing the same thing over and over again, and they've just lost motivation. And if you are that servant leader, that comes around and says, well, let's get going, guys, we can do this or we can do that. Just giving them, like you said, that nudge, that bit of direction can make the worlds of difference. And it's so important that we really look at the problem. I always say leaders are problem solvers.
That's
But
right.
when we face problems, it's not necessarily a negative thing. It brings out new things in us and we learn.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a husband, as a father, you're a problem solver. As a mother, as a wife, you are a problem solver, without a doubt.
I agree with you completely. Thank you so much for that lovely answer. Now, I saw you for the first time on the AMA call yesterday with Emilio and Daniela. And I love the fact that you mentioned in the description, I think where did you mention that in the description of the live? Or where did you write, you have 6 or 7 children? And I found that to be intriguing. Will you just elaborate on that? Explain that to the audience, 6 or 7 children.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. Yes, Daniela reached out to me and asked me for a short bio, and I put that in there. She responded with, did you intend to say this? I'm like, yes, I did. So where the 6 or 7 children comes from is what's going on in life right now. We are what's known as a blended family. I came into the relationship with 4 children, 1 boy and 3 girls. And my wife came into our relationship with 2 boys. So we have 3 boys, 3 girls. Where the 7th child comes in at is my oldest daughter has a dear friend, it's her best friend in the world, that spends as much time with us as possible. And she's come from an unfortunate situation. Mother passed away just over a year ago. And the father he has some addictions. And she is currently living with the sister because the father cannot even, there's a restraining order. He can't be around them. And so we are actually working right now to see about getting guardianship, adopting, I'm dealing with attorneys right now to see exactly how to handle that. So, when I read that to my daughter Noelle and her friend Abby, who I'm speaking of, they immediately said, no, there's 7 kids. So, it's to them, it's done, which is great. There's also the legal aspect of it. So that's where we're at right now.
Absolutely. I believe that God will make the way clear for you. Your heart is in the right place. It's a good thing that you are doing. In the Bible, God really has a heart for the orphans as well. In a sense, she's an orphan because her mom is not there anymore. So thank you so much for being that light at the end of the tunnel for her, for being that support system, because you are setting her up for success.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the thing. She's a great girl. And she has such a positive, upbeat attitude with everything that's going on. And
Yeah.
even today when she left, because she's going back today with her sister. And I was actually on a call when she left, and she told my wife, well, my wife told her, she said, we'll get you back again soon. She said, I know, and hopefully the next time it will be forever. So, and then
Oh,
she came over here and gave me a hug while she was leaving. So it's just like, you know, sometimes you just know it's the right thing to do.
yeah.
You know, we're both 39 years old, my wife and I. Tomorrow is our anniversary. And
Congratulations.
thank you. And, you know, we are busy with the 6 children we already have, as well as the multiple businesses that we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like another child just kind of falling out of the sky. She's 15, so it's a little bit different than giving birth to one. However, you know, it's that you have that calm and that peace in your heart, both you and your wife, me and my wife in this case. You just know it's the right thing to do. And when I get in situations like this, I tell God, I'm like, you know what? If I'm not hearing from you, if this is not right, I'm going for it. I'm going to do everything in my power to see that it happens. If it's not right, slam every door in my face. And then we'll know it's not right. Until then, we're giving it everything.
I love the way you articulated that. And you know what comes across to me when you speak is the fact that you trust your intuition, you trust your gut. And you also go with the leading of the Holy Spirit that you've mentioned. Now, let me tell you something that happened to me in the ministry. There was a position that I wanted to apply for a few years ago. And let me tell you, in the spirit, you could see me just like, you know, trying to take a chainsaw and open that door. And I was praying and I was fasting and I was doing everything in my power to, you know, in the spirit, you know, ask for help to get that door, because that was the church I wanted to work at. Right. And that door, Jonathan, stayed closed. Nothing that I did could open that door. Let me tell you, it was the most frustrating time in my spiritual journey. And I did not get that church. I wasn't called to that church. And years later, something happened and some information reached me. And I realized why that door did not open for me. God was protecting me.
Right. That's right. Any door that God opens, no man can shut. Any door that God shuts, no man can open.
Amen. I had written that test physically, emotionally, and mentally, and I thank God for his word, and I thank him for being true to his word.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's hard a lot of times when you're in that situation. You want it so bad, you'll do anything for it. And it's like, you know, God, where are you? Why are you not here? Well, then you realize he was. It's just he saw things you couldn't possibly see that you were protected from.
Absolutely. I mean, I was ministering at another church. You know, I always went around and ministered and preached and worshipped and everything. And I was facing a very big decision in my life. And the person that was in the worship team with me from that particular church that I was visiting once came to me after the service, and he looked at me. And he looked at me and I said, "What now?" And he said, "You know what? I just want to tell you, don't worry." He said, "Because God has already been in your future." And I just looked at him. And you know, that moment I decided I'm just going to give it over to God. I'm going to let go. And everything, Jonathan, I testify, just fell into place beautifully because God is sovereign.
A very easy term to say.
Yeah.
Yet a very hard thing to believe a lot of times when you're in it is let go, let God.
Yes.
It's like, no, I can handle my situation. No, let go, let God. And it gets handled. It does.
It does. Absolutely. I agree with you. And I loved when you were talking about your family and your 6 or 7 children, which is soon going to be 7. We had talked yesterday about family. We talked about how important marriage is. And you said something that I chuckled about last night. You said your parents have been married forever. Even Jesus was at their wedding. And I replied, I hope he turned the water into wine.
You know, to be a little bit more prepared for today, I reached out to my parents. I said, how long have y'all been married? So this upcoming May will be 50 years. So they've been married a little over 49 years.
50 years. That is tremendous. That is just phenomenal. Would you please ask how they managed to do that? Because that is just amazing.
That is amazing. I also called them and I said, you know, in your words, what would you say has kept it going? I am always intrigued by people that have been married for long periods of time. Like I said, tomorrow is my anniversary. It'll be 3 years for my wife and myself.
Wonderful.
So when I meet people that have been married for 20, 30, 40, 50, 70 years, I love to inquire, what's the secret to keep it together? And, you know, they all have different answers because everybody's life is so different. When I asked my parents about what do you feel your values and your morals were that kept it together while you raised 3 boys, my mom real quickly said, we keep the Lord as the center of our home.
Hallelujah.
And my dad said, we live as Christ-like as possible.
Wow.
And there is a scripture in the Bible that says, love God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and all your strength.
Yeah.
And love your neighbor as yourself. And they told me that is their core principles. Just smother people with love, essentially.
Beautiful. I think that's phenomenal. You know what? It's just another testimony to say that if we walk in God's way, we are blessed. I'm thinking of Matthew 5 that says, blessed are the peacemakers. They don't promote fighting in their marriage. They seek the face of God, and therefore they are blessed. And when it's their wedding anniversary, please just from my side also say next year in May, just say congratulations, because 50 years, I mean, that's amazing.
That's amazing. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So if you look back over your life, Jonathan, where do you perceive was that moment, that Kairos moment, that divine appointed moment that your leadership journey started? Was it one moment that everything like in time kind of stood still and you knew this was what you were going to do? Or was it a process?
7th grade, when I was in 7th grade. So that would have made me, let's see, 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
I became the leader of the Christian club at my school in middle school. So I was responsible for, you know, promoting it, having people come in, teaching it, and just leading it. And that was so much fun. That really changed my life a whole lot. And then 8th grade, I switched schools, and I was the leader of the Christian club at that school. That school had about 600 people in it, brand new school that year. Wow. And we had 104, if I remember correctly, people from the school come into it at one point. So 1/6 of the school attended the club at some point. And it grew so much that we were actually doing one in the morning and one in the afternoon after school every single week. So true leadership started for me in 7th grade, just being the leader of a community at my school, at my public school.
Amazing.
Still goes on today, without a doubt. It never stops.
Absolutely. Yes. You know what? I was thinking 7th grade, 7 businesses, 7 children. 7 is God's perfect number.
Wow. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the number of completion.
There you go. Wow.
I have not even noticed that. You're absolutely right. It's the number of completion.
You are blessed, my friend. You are blessed. You're anointed and you're appointed. I'm so happy and blessed to know you. Thank you very much. I feel uplifted.
Good. It's a pleasure to get to know you as well.
Thank you, Jonathan. Tell me, in your opinion, what can leaders do to improve their leadership skills, but in a long-term manner? What can they make a part of their routine, or what is it that they can, how can they approach this task?
Mentorship. I am a firm believer that every person needs a mentor. Every person needs a coach. You know, Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, had Phil Knight. Tiger Woods, the greatest golfer of all time. And I'm not saying these as factual things of they were the greatest. I'm just saying it's understood. But Tiger Woods had his own mentor. So everybody from the highest of heights to, you can't say the deepest of depths, but I believe that every successful person has a mentor of some kind. And, you know, as I said, we're growing a community as well, a mentorship, a leadership community. And every week we do a live call every Monday morning, Eastern Standard Time. And several people get together and we discuss various topics and we all learn, we all grow together. And that can be found at www.thoughtprovokingchange.com. We would love for everybody to join us there. Just swing on by, sign up, and join the call with us. It's really exciting times. We have a great group and we just continue to grow and pour into each other's lives. There's people there from all walks of life. You know, this past Sunday, one of the members said, you know, I get into rooms even like this one that I don't feel like I belong in. And I said, I called him by name. I said, you belong here. You belong. And a lot of times, again, you just need people that will link arms with you and help you out along the way.
Yes.
So,
It's very important.
Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, you know, it's very important. What I like about what you do is you give them that love and acceptance. I mean, just for that individual to hear that they belong, that makes all the difference for them. Now their viewpoint is shifted from not fitting in to how can I progress? How can I grow? How can I get better?
Absolutely. They had that frame around their life of, I don't belong here. I'm not up to that level, you know, fill in the blank. And when you can come in and reframe it, it changes lives. And again, that is our main goal, is to change lives.
Well, you are certainly doing a good job of that. And you are assisting people out there. So that's why I'm saying you are like this light shining in the end of the dark tunnel for people. And that is what it means to be the salt of the earth and the light of the world. You know, that is that you are living that.
That's right. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's really exciting. It's a calling. It really is. It's a calling. Some people are called to be a pastor. Some people are called for various things. And, you know, I was speaking with someone because I have a forthcoming book coming out in January called Uncomplicated. And I was speaking with someone, actually it was my father. And he said, you know, you need to give essentially attention to God and things like that. And yeah, there are various points in the book that do thank God for where we're at, things of that nature. However, everybody's not called to be a pastor. I truly believe that there are people that their ministry is called to not be in the church.
Yes.
I don't believe that if Jesus was here today in fleshly form, that he would be a pastor in a church, because he's not here for the well, he's here for the sick. So why does everybody need to be in a church where people are supposed to be well? You know, I believe that Jesus would be in the bars with people. I believe that he would be around prostitutes, around, you know, fill in the blank, because that's where his ministry, that's where he is needed.
Absolutely. So,
I'm bringing my light in from a different angle instead of standing in a pulpit preaching. I will tie God and Christ into things that I do, just not from a church standpoint.
Absolutely. And you know, I resonate so well with that, because I'll tell you what my journey has been up to now with God. As I've been in the ministry for 15 years, I've always had this ministry mindset. But
Mhm.
as the years progressed, I realized Jesus wasn't always in the synagogue. He was,
Right.
as you said, sitting with the prostitutes. He even had a tax collector as his disciple. He was always between all kinds of people. I mean, people from all walks of life. And like you, he was always giving people love and acceptance. And he was always telling them they belong. And God
Mhm.
created all people. John 3, verse 16 says, "For God so loved the world." Everyone, if
Right.
it's in the synagogue, if it's in the marketplace, if it's at home, if it's at school, God loves everyone. So my journey thus far, my journey with the church is coming to an end. After I got divorced, the denomination, their constitution says if you are divorced, you cannot continue in the ministry. So since I've been going through all of those things, God has really taken my mind from a ministry mindset to a marketplace mindset. And
Mhm.
in His grace, through the years, He has helped me to build multiple streams of income. So I've been working in the church, but also in the corporate world. So the transition for me is so much easier. Can you see how good God is?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It all works out. Everything works out.
absolutely. So Jesus was in the marketplace, and that's where leaders need to make a difference.
I agree.
Leaders make a difference wherever they go. But as things happen, sometimes life happens. How do you perceive leaders to avoid burnout? How do you, for instance, avoid that? Or what information or advice can you give to the audience to avoid burnout?
Delegate. Everything is not supposed to be on your shoulders. You cannot possibly handle everything and grow. And we all know that you're either growing or you're dying.
Yes.
So you must delegate tasks to others.
Yeah.
One of my most favorite quotes, something that I say so often, is teamwork makes the dream work.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we just recently moved, and I told my wife, I said, we need to name our house.
Beautiful.
So we named it Dreamwood. Teamwork makes the dream work. There's a dream, and we live on 4.5 acres, so we're in the woods. So Dreamwood.
Wow.
The biggest thing to grow anything is team effort. One person can only do so much.
Yeah.
And you're better off to have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than you are to have 100% of one person's efforts. So it would be, without a doubt, delegate. Let people come in, let people help you, and you'll grow even faster then. And it will take so much stress off of you. You know, with avoiding burnout, some of my personal simple things are, I have a hot tub in my backyard. And there are times, even in the middle of the day, I'll just walk away from work and go spend 15, 20 minutes in the hot tub, come back up and get back to it. Because when there's so many things running, it gets overwhelming. It gets overwhelming. Every entrepreneur, every leader knows it gets overwhelming, and that's okay. You got to take time for yourself, because if you're not clear in your mind, then, just operate with a clear mind. In fact, that's chapter 3 of my book, is clear mind.
Clear
and
mind.
you just have to be clear so that you can continue on the path.
I love
Another
that.
thing that I love to do is I am all about experiences. In my divorce, if I learned anything, it's to make experiences and make them count.
Beautiful.
One of the biggest joys of my life is when I'm with my children and, fill in the blank. We're watching a movie where we see a billboard, whatever, and they look and they say, "Daddy, we've been there. We've been there." It does something to me to give them those experiences. But the thing is, I'm also avoiding burnout by taking these trips, because the I remember April of last year.
Yeah.
We took my middle son on his 10th birthday trip. And the way that works is all of my children get to choose where they want to go anywhere in the world for their 10th birthday. It's just that one child and the parents.
Yes.
He chose Las Vegas and Los Angeles. So we rented a car in Las Vegas and we drove. It was a Lamborghini Urus. So we enjoyed our time driving from Las Vegas to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And then we checked into a swanky hotel, to say the least.
Yeah.
And I told my wife, I said, this messes up my head. And she said, why? I said, it's a good thing. She said, okay, how?
Yeah.
I said, because to understand and to live the life and see what it's like, it motivates me more when I get back to work.
Wow.
Not
Great.
that it's the focus of material things. That is an advantage. However, when I can speak to people from the experience part, and there's somebody that says, I would love to experience that.
Yeah.
Again, can link arms and say, hey, here's how you get there. Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
Then I can mentor and coach them to go from where they're at to where they know they should be.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yes, because then you speak out of what you know. You've been there, you felt it, you lived it. And you mentioned something very important. You mentioned that we should delegate. You mentioned that we should, take breaks. We should take care of ourselves. And I think I mentioned to you yesterday, the reason why I always got to places where I almost burned out was the fact that I felt guilty when I did something for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea where I got the preconception that you have to be on duty every 24/7. You have to be at everything. You have to be in charge of everything. You have to control. And the moment I realized that I don't control the waves, I ride them, I can just let go and I can give tasks over to other people and I'm allowed to take breaks. That's when everything changed for me. How is it that we have these beliefs that we don't even realize we hold?
To keep going, that is something in an entrepreneur's mind, without a doubt. My wife just started a business a couple months ago. She was a school teacher at the public school system for 17 years.
Wow.
And she came out and now she is putting together content for teachers.
Beautiful.
And she's doing an amazing job. She's been doing it for 3 months now. And when we were at lunch just a few minutes ago, I said, how many days consecutive have you had a sale? She said it's 15 or 16 days. Within a few months, she's already making sales every single day.
Wow.
And she told me the other day, she said, I just feel like I'm behind. I don't feel like I am where I need to be. I'm like, hey, you never will. That's just part of it. You never will. It's like, I should be further ahead. And I had to point out, I'm like, baby, you made a sale before you told me that you would ever make a sale. You made that sale.
Yeah. You
have blown out every single goal you have set for yourself.
Beautiful.
And I'm like, that's the disadvantage to being an entrepreneur, to being a leader, is I should always be there.
Yeah.
But again, you must clear your mind and live in the present moment. You're far more effective by living in the present moment.
Absolutely. I've had a crash course in that since 2020. Let me tell you, there were so many things that I had to let go of to get to that place where I realized it's okay. I do what I can do in that day. Tomorrow is a new day. But still, like you said, there's that little voice that says, oh, I should be doing that. I should have done that. I guess that's a journey that we all take, on our leadership journey and on our entrepreneurial plane.
No doubt about it. No doubt. You just got to realize it is okay to take a break. You have to take time for yourself. If you're not taken care of, you can't take care of others. So just carve out time for yourself. And that will look different for everybody. Some people, 10 minutes in a hot tub or 10 minutes to go take a jog or lift weights or get on a treadmill.
Yeah.
Others will have to say, no, I got to have a weekend away or a week or two away. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, of course. Yes, of course, we are all different. We are all unique. And we are entrepreneurs. We are leaders. That makes us persistent. What is your definition of persistence?
Wow. You got to have the bite of a bulldog. Once you get your claws, or once you get your teeth sinked into something, don't stop.
Yeah.
Make daily gains to it. Again, this is not you work 24 hours a day. This is you're 1% better today than you were yesterday.
Beautiful.
At the end of the year, you're 365% better than you were a year ago.
Wow.
You know, the preconceived notion is you have to make these huge jumps, these huge leaps, these huge gains. And although they do happen at times, consistency is key. You must start your journey and just make daily deposits into making that journey grow. And it gets better. It gets better.
Yeah. What you're saying is so true. You know, to get to that big goal, you have to reach your small goals. You have to reach your small goals. And it's not to say that if you start now, you'll jump and you'll attain. Sometimes you get to a place where you have to realize you have to recalibrate your plan. You have to recalibrate your vision a little bit. Maybe you put goals aside that are a little bit too far to reach. And then you start over, and that is persistence. Now, I wanted to ask you, do you have a story of personal persistence that you went through for the audience that you would like to share with them?
A huge one would be that business that I have owned for nearly 20 years.
Wow.
I have had it collapse on me 3 different times.
Yeah.
The first time was 12 years ago. I had a car accident on my way home from work one night. I fell asleep behind the wheel and I was out. I have no bones on this side of my face. It's all a metal plate. That's why my eyes caved in a little bit right here.
Ouch.
And I had a post come through and hit me in the face. And I was out of commission for 6 months. I was in a coma immediately after the accident. And the hospital told my wife at the time that they've never seen somebody suffer that type of
impact.
And not succumb to it.
My goodness.
And God just chose to leave me here. Apparently my work wasn't finished. However, at that same time, the business fell apart. You know, with what we were doing, we were servicing people every week, every other week. And there was a period there where I was having people make phone calls for me, but people got missed. I mean, clients got missed, and then, you know, we just didn't show up. So work started falling off, and I rebuilt it. And it collapsed on me again when I was going through my divorce, because that had my full and complete attention, and everything else just fell by the wayside, unfortunately.
Yes.
And I got it built back up. And, you know, one of my clients, I remember a phone call with him. He said, Jonathan, you have a bite like a bulldog. That's exactly why I said that. I will never forget him saying that. He said, once you decided you wanted my work, you never let me go. I said, no, I didn't. And we got his work.
Yeah.
The thing is, always start with the end in mind. Now, understanding that end will change, because just like you were saying, there are some things that I'll accomplish this in a year. And then once you get started, you realize that it's really a 3-year plan, not a 1 year. Or you will have things that I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to have that. I'm going to be this. And then you realize that's really not that important. Once you get closer to it, it's like that really does not matter. So you always begin with the end in mind, yet you also realize things will shift, things will change. Your
Mm,
goals will expand, some of your goals will contract, and that's okay too.
yes,
That's okay. Just keep
absolutely.
this every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And I want to commend you on not giving up. You know, because when you were out of commission for 6 months,
Mhm.
half a year. You could have just gone home and said, well, everything fell apart. That's it. It is what it is. That's not what you did.
No.
You went back and you started over.
I started
And you
over, and
made
every
it
single
big.
time it grew bigger. It got better. Every single time.
So there is a blessing in the persistence, and it's giving a message out to the world to not give up. We can never give up. It's never too late to make it better.
That's right. That's right. Never give up. That is the biggest thing of success. You must start. You must start what you're doing. Don't wait until the colors get perfect in your logo. Don't wait until everything's lined up. Start now. You cannot learn to drive a parked car. You must start.
Yeah,
And don't
absolutely.
stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop. It's okay to shift things because things will shift. Things
Yes.
will shift. But start and don't stop. Keep
Mm,
up.
mm. Absolutely, absolutely. As leaders, as entrepreneurs, even as parents, even as spouses, we face difficulties because it's life. We live in a broken world. Society is broken. We work with broken people. Sometimes there are things within ourselves that are broken that God is busy fixing. And sometimes we are leaders and we find ourselves on difficult teams. And that can be a various range of things. It can be a personality clash or personality clashes. It can be that maybe the leader is taking on a new task and they're not sure of what to do, and now they're frustrated and they're bringing that, energy into the team, and everybody is a bit worried, and everybody, starts to just not get along anymore. How would you encourage people or leaders to deal with difficult teams? How would you approach that?
First off, look at what you can learn. There is a lesson in everything you go through, good or bad. Some relationships are not meant to be, whether that's marriage, whether that's employee, employer, whether that's two mutual employees. Sometimes moving someone to a different department is the key to everything.
Yes.
Sometimes people just need to be let go.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is to learn, because you're always going to deal with difficult people. The world's full of them.
Yeah.
And have empathy. That is a huge thing, because there is a reason that they are the way they are. You have no idea. I mean, a lot of times you think people came from the same background, the same style of living that I did. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't. You take somebody in and you expect them to live up to your expectations, realizing later that they have no idea. They don't have a standard that they've set yet. You help them set a standard. And to me, a standard is a line that you refuse to live beneath. It's not something you live up to. It's something you refuse to live beneath. And the thing is, just learn and pour into them. Pour into them, because you could be the change in their life that helps them get to that next level. That's personal, that's business, that's everything. And there are times, like I said before, that they just need to go. And that's okay too. That's okay. Although people like yourself, people like the wonderful audience here, people like myself, we want to help everybody, and everybody's not there for us to help.
Yes, I love that.
Everybody's not there for us to help.
Yeah. And as you were speaking, I was thinking to myself, leaders, why do we go through personal and professional development continuously? For this very reason, to develop the emotional intelligence and the skill to be able to discern who we should let go and who we can pour into.
That's absolutely right. You're always developing. You should be always developing. Again,
Yes.
like I was saying before, get yourself a coach
Yes.
and get yourself a mentor and always grow, because whether you're talking about yourself, your business, your relationship, or a tree outside, everything is either growing or it's dying at all times. You know, people get trapped in what is known as a comfort zone. That's the most dangerous place to be ever.
Yes.
You're suffocating inside of your comfort zone and you don't even realize it. It's time to step out and get a fresh breath of air. Get out of that comfort zone and grow.
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. That is amazing. Thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. And I know you mentioned your book, and I know you have a podcast of some sort. Please tell the audience the details. How can we follow you? How can we elevate and uplift you? How can we cheer you on? Where can we purchase your book or pre-order your book? Any products that you have, please, and tell us what is next for you. What is next on your agenda?
Well, thank you so much. The book, again, is called Uncomplicated. It's talking about how to uncomplicate your life.
Yeah.
You're going to learn how to unlock your personal potential while removing obstacles and people that hold you back. You know, again, our goal is to help clear the path for growth and prosperity in every facet of life that we are accustomed to.
Yes.
We want to see people grow. We want to see people elevated. And the book comes out January 2023, so just a few short months away.
Yes.
You can stay connected with us. I encourage you to go to www.thoughtprovokingchange.com.
Yeah.
Get signed up and join us every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in our group. You'll see links on the website to get there. And also, I look forward to connecting with you through social media. My handle on most platforms is at Jonathan Ellis Official. Yeah. And you can find my business page on Facebook at facebook.com/the Jonathan Ellis. That's JONATHAN Ellis. And, you know, connect with us there. I put out daily content to help encourage, motivate, lift you up, and get involved in our calls. That is where we make the real true connection. That is where we get to learn who you are and you get to learn who we are, and we all get to grow together. We look forward to welcoming you into the community very, very, very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. What you mentioned, the word community, I was thinking that we have to be a part of wonderful communities such as yours. That is really where iron really sharpens iron, where we really grow, where we develop, where we get to the good stuff. You know, sometimes we have to address a certain situation and we work through it. And I just feel that your community is one of love and acceptance, giving people direction, really just uplifting them, serving them. So I'm going to make the social media handles that you mentioned available after the session and also on the post when I post this. And I'm going to ask the audience, please network with Jonathan, you know, cheer him on, follow him on social media and join that call on a Monday. It is for your edification and it is for your good. And I just want to say before we get to our last question, I can't believe the time just flew by.
It did. Yeah. It's been fun. Again, I appreciate you having me.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Thank you for making time for us. We had so much fun together. We had a blast. We learned so much in such a short time. And I'm going to start joining your calls on a Monday. And I'm looking forward to, you know, just growing with you, as you mentioned. And as we go out of this session, do you have any final words of wisdom for the audience that you want to leave them with?
if you don't start now, tomorrow, you are just going to repair today. Get started, follow your dreams. Everybody gets stuck at times. Find a way out. You know, the best way that I can say right now is get on the Monday morning call with us. We are there to help edify you, just like she said. 2 weeks ago, that's really all we did. The entire hour that we were on that call was just lifting each other up, because that's a lot of times all that people need. They just need to know, hey, somebody hears me. Somebody acknowledges me. Somebody appreciates me. Somebody loves me.
Yes.
And that's the thing. I end all my calls, all my social media stuff with, remember, you are loved. Together, teamwork makes the dream work. And it's very, very true. So just stay focused. Start now. Everything starts. It can be edited. Start now. You deserve it.
There you go, audience. There you go. Words of wisdom from a heart-centered, authentic leader. It has been such a pleasure to have you on, Jonathan. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a lot of fun, and you're wonderful. It's a pleasure to know you.
Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate you. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And to the Meticulous Moments audience, thank you so much for joining us for yet another session at Meticulous Moments, where we facilitate community upliftment through leadership development. We are going to make all the social media handles available of Jonathan. Please follow him and reach out to him as soon as possible. And with that, we say goodbye, and we'll see you in the next session.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
You were wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was so much fun.
It was great. I loved it. Thank you very much. we should remember two things. We should take a selfie before I forget. And I made a few notes quickly, if you want to hop on a live, just to give everyone a 5 or 10 minute, just a tease for next week when we post. That would be wonderful. I made a few notes if you want to quickly go on that. Do you have time?
Perfect. I do. And how do you want to go on a live? Do you want to do you have a channel you want to go on? Can we go on my YouTube live and then I can link it to Facebook?
Yeah, whatever you want to do, let's do that. I can open it or you can open it, doesn't matter. I made a few notes in preparation as we were speaking. I thought I could ask you about defining leadership. We can talk about burnout quickly, persistence, and then I love the fact that we can laugh about the wedding anniversary, the parents. I think that would be a funky twist.
Okay. Very cool. Let me do this. I have never actually done a live on YouTube, so I know a saying. There we go. Go live. Okay, so this is not.
Otherwise, I can open one if it's not working. I'll open one and then you'll get a notification saying I'm inviting you, and it will give you a blue. I think it's a blue button. I'm also not very fluent in this. I think you join by clicking join with video. So we can stop this call and then I'll hop on that side and send you a notification. That's the only way I know how to do it. You want to do it? That'll be good.
What platform?
Facebook.
Through Facebook. Okay, awesome. Yeah, stop this and I will go over there and I'll meet you there.
Okay, let's quickly take our selfie. Sorry, I'm still learning about all this technology. I'm going to count us down. I saw in our session my battery was going down, so that's why the phone went funny. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. I'll see you on the other side.
Sounds good. See you on Facebook.
Okay, bye. Bless you. Bye.